we're live. We're cooking. We're cooking with gas. Yeah.
Cooking levels.
Well, everybody, welcome back to the Books with Friends podcast. We're here with the Ramirez brothers.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
We can start with Eddie. Eddie, youngest to oldest.
So I'm Eddie. Eddie Ramirez. I'm 23 out of the three brothers.
My name is Xavier Ramirez, 25, the middle child.
Respect.
Joey Ramirez, I'm the oldest, 26, also known as Creature.
So, I guess the good starting point here is that we all grew up together. For everybody that doesn't know, all of us, and they recently moved out to California, so a pretty big shift in perspective. So we can kind of just let it. What was the first thing when you got out there? Like the first month, what was that? What was that like when you first went out? It's been about a year now, right? So anybody can answer that, whatever.
Honestly, the fear was kind of holding us back at first, kind of had that second thought to anything in life, but once we got going out there, it's wow, it's happening. I think it's more of the action of just doing it, because once we got doing it, it was nothing. Everyone was oh, your car's gonna break down or you're not gonna make it, blah blah blah. It's literally, it was fast before you
come back after a year or something like that.
But we got there. I guess it was more weird once we got there because we were all right, then now what?
Yeah.
So it's we're here, but
we
yeah,
made it.
We're here, so it's now what?
What was the feeling like in the car? Have you guys seen Breaking Bad?
Awesome.
I've seen
First when Jesse, when he's by the neo-Nazi guys, and he breaks free and he's in the car. And he's at the end.
Gosh,
have you seen that?
I've seen the whole. That's my favorite.
He breaks through the gate. He breaks through the gate and he's just celebrating in the car. Was that what it was like when you guys got out of here? You're oh shit, we're out, dude.
It was an unreal feeling at first. It was kind of damn, this really is existing for a while up to the move. It was more just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like that for 5 years, been wanting to move, and
cut strings.
This is it. I was actually when I realized I was halfway across America, 10 hours into the drive, I was damn, I'm actually moving out here, and realizing that I sold everything to move to do that. So it was this is it type deal. So it was an interesting feeling.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, man. I haven't done it, but I imagine
just that feeling of the unknown as well. I love that drive of the unknown. Anything good could happen, but also anything bad could happen, and that's what I like. It's anything at any time could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a part of life that I enjoy. So.
Do you guys plan on staying out there? And maybe for how long? Just kind of to be determined type deal, or what?
Just going with flow.
Yeah,
so just,
yeah.
Right now,
yeah.
I'd say you guys were meant to be there. I wouldn't say meant to be there, but I enjoy the time being there. I feel like I'm in the correct place. So then now it's just going with that until I find a better option in essence, or just find something that's gonna progress me more.
Yeah. So I was thinking here. Are you guys planning? What city are you guys in? I keep forgetting.
It's Moreno Valley. That's
Moreno
the
Valley.
city we live in.
Okay. Would you guys Is that the city? Is that the city?
No, I mean,
is that you guys thinking about moving to other cities within California, or is that the city?
I want to move towards LA. That's my goal.
LA is the goal.
Yeah, just because
is it close? Just inch your way.
The lifestyle.
Sort of, yeah.
It's fast paced down there. And there's just more going on, so I think it's just
everyone's grinding.
It's really good for networking as well.
It's there's anyone out there, literally anything and anyone's out there.
Just
it doesn't have to be the people that live in California.
You just bump into somebody at the coffee shop that's somebody.
Yeah.
It's not even huge name people. It's just people who are doing things that are experienced in the field that they're doing it. And so just being able to work with people like that, in essence, it just helps you grow as a person as well. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So the awesome thing that I and Eddie got to experience. We went to this art show. We won this thing about his name actually is David Cho. If you guys don't know about him, look him up on Instagram.
Great artist.
He actually, just real quick about him, he basically did when Facebook first had their headquarters built. They chose him as the artist to do the inside artwork, and they were like, all right, we'll pay you, or we could put your pay into stocks. And this is before Facebook was huge. So as him being a gambler, he's like, yeah, put it in stocks. And next thing you know, he's what is it? How much money?
He inherited
what?
He inherited $22 million.
Because Facebook blew up, so now he's the super millionaire.
It was sold for the money it was sold for. I don't know exactly X amount, but he inherited
so now he can
millions.
focus on just art. He already did it, so now he can just live life.
Yeah.
So we got to experience that. It was called what was it called, Eddie? The Cho Show.
The Cho Show.
And honestly, me and Eddie are still we don't know what he's doing because the whole time he recorded it, and his brother just had a show on Netflix. So I mean, it could be a Netflix series. I don't know.
Might just be holding on.
Yeah, like the whole
It's still he's
experience,
still
like,
building it up. So knowing him, something's.
How long's that
come out
been
of
going
it.
for?
That was just it was like a 3-month process, but since he started it, it was like a year ago that he had started talking about it. And, like,
Oh, okay.
To this day, no one really knows what it was. Like it was.
So it was only a one-time thing.
Yeah, it was an experience.
Oh.
Like,
Literally was
I
an
don't know what to
experience.
call it. It's like hard to explain. I can kind of explain what happened, but
He was trying
tell
to
you
help
what it was,
to understand ourselves, to help him understand himself. It was weird. It was beautiful.
Eddie told me a little
honestly.
bit about it. You guys there was dark rooms and everyone was sitting there, and there was like
Every room was just I guess a
Was
different
art-
emotion.
Was
a
there art
different
too
fear.
around on the
Oh,
walls?
Everything you looked at
Everything.
was art. Everything you touched and looked at was
Weird. I
That's
lost
all-
my
that's
panel,
what it is.
dude. Which one was it?
The police.
The
Yeah, fuck
police.
Honestly. Sorry,
Ah.
excuse my language, sorry.
Damn.
Sorry for the young viewers out there.
Actually not. No. It's not in the shot.
But yeah, so just being out there, we got a chance to go out there. Like if we weren't out there, we wouldn't be able to do that. Like
Yeah,
if I
that's
won
awesome.
that thing and I was here in Indiana, I wouldn't be able to get the plane ticket. Just being
Mhm.
out there, I'm just around. If any, all the concerts, all the beautiful music, I get to see
The
all these big
festivals and
festivals that I
everything.
always
Yeah.
dreamed of seeing. I'm out there now.
Yeah,
You're just out there. So
that's
much
where it's
more.
all happening.
Exactly.
It's like the art mecca, pretty
Life-
much.
life
I would
moves
say.
Fast. I mean, not that it doesn't
I mean,
move fast here, but
yeah.
out there, there's just so much.
so much
so
always
much to
learning,
do.
bro.
Everybody, no one's just hanging out.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess there are people hanging out, but there's a lot more people that aren't. Yeah.
And if you are people who are
Definitely.
locals there, even if they're chilling at the beach, it's still that's their normal thing, but they're still doing something in essence instead of just being home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the interesting.
Yeah, and that's huge because you guys are both in art, right?
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and how much has that had an impact on your style and then also your productivity? Because you're talking about the space itself, and Javi, you're a producer, so probably I guess everybody's kind of
Yeah, influence.
chime in because
Yeah.
Yeah.
music out there as well. But
Oh yeah.
would you say it's more of a stylistic change or was it more of a motivational change that happened?
I would even say both.
Both?
My style definitely changed in art. I guess for me in California, you can be yourself 100%. So I wasn't scared to be 100% my art style.
Yeah.
So people appreciate that just for being you. Also, just I'm a Pisces, so I'm very adaptable to my surroundings. So a lot of my art, vibe, I guess, came from that. I'm very into street art, and there's graffiti's covered everywhere. People are oh, Chicago's got graffiti, but when you go to LA, I'm talking about
different
it's every inch of the concrete in that city is covered in graffiti.
Wow.
Just inspiration driving through that town or city. It's just everything you look at is art, everything.
Mhm.
Even the fashion, how people are just themselves and dressing. There's so much inspiration consistently out there.
Yeah.
So I love that as well.
What would you say, Eddie? Javi?
I'd say mine would be motivational.
Motivational, yeah.
I mean, somewhat the stylistic of what I do, but I think more just the motivational, having a move like that. Since not even just California, just anything in life, doing something, it just kind of gives me that energy of wanting to get more, to create more, just to do more with myself. I realize the how easy things are to do. So now when it comes to my creations of painting, it's I don't need to force it, just natural, and that already is the creation itself, and that's the art to me. Is just the time spent doing it. The aftermath is cool to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the experience of just being out there, painting in my garage, painting out in California, knowing that is the motivation to keep doing it, just because I'm doing something different with myself. That type aspect. of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about you?
I would say a little bit of both.
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For when we go to the beach, say someone's playing on the side with a little guitar with the dog or something.
Yeah, there's always someone out there,
There's
isn't there? Always
something.
somebody.
And
just
it's
hustling.
always something different. They'll be having a sign with them. One guy was wearing a Trump mask, which was pretty cool, and he was just rocking out with his guitar.
And it's nothing but love out there. When you see other street artists or other people grinding, everyone's helping each other out there. Here it's kind of your friends kind of help you, and that's about it. Out there it's I get more loved by strangers than anyone.
Wow.
They see you. They recognize that you're you
got,
love the art.
you work together.
Yeah.
Honestly, out there, everyone's trying to get the dream.
Weird. Isn't it weird? It's a city has its own persona in a way. It has its own. I feel New York might be a little bit a lot different than LA.
Oh,
I feel
most definitely, I bet.
I feel it's more I'm gonna get my own. And
It's really cutthroat.
you get yours,
I
but
can
LA
see
is
that,
more
yeah.
a collab type
It
of
is.
event,
Yeah,
and
I've
which totally
noticed
makes
that.
sense for the type of things that are happening in LA, all the art pieces, all the music that's happening there.
Most definitely.
New York's
So much
about
different
business,
types of music, too.
I
competitiveness,
see
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot.
which there's competition in LA too.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
and-
Most definitely.
yeah, but
Everyone
It's
does
weird
their
that each
own
city
thing,
has
but
its
they
own.
still apply to each other to
Yeah.
Yeah.
help grow that scene with each other. That's the cool part about it.
And there's like a lot of culture too, like different culture as well.
Mm-hmm.
Inspires as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty big shock. Are there a lot of homeless people out there?
More than you think.
Really?
More than you think.
I think there's a lot. So if I went there,
More
it's
than you
probably
think.
more than that.
Yeah.
Like I almost went broke by just being the nice guy I am, by always giving. Like you go to a gas station, you're gonna give a couple bucks. You go to a grocery store, you're gonna give a couple bucks. Like they're everywhere. They get you.
That's
everywhere.
the hard part. Is like
It's the
you
hard
want to
part.
in essence you want to help people. At the same point, it's like there's so many. It's like
That's
who cares? It's like who's the right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
not to say there's a right person to
It's
help,
hard,
but it's
yes.
like I feel that sometimes I'll help a certain like person. And it's like damn, like I helped him, I didn't help him, but I'm not able to help everyone. I'm realizing that now. It's like I'm not in a position to help everyone. In that. So that's like the hard part. Is
I
like,
mean, Eddie, you can even say a lot of them are like ungrateful as well. There's been
Yeah.
times Eddie's bought
Yeah.
food for them and they complain or
Turn
like,
it down.
oh, I don't want this, I need this.
Oh, this didn't have cheese or something. I don't want it no
What?
more.
Yeah. Crazy
Too much
story, actually.
cream in the coffee or
We
something.
walked to a Dollar Tree one day, and this guy had asked me for like money. You know, he's like, "You guys have any spare change?" And I was like, "I don't, dude, because I literally didn't have any cash or anything." And like we lived like literally like a 3-minute walk from there. And I like walked home, and I was there. I was like, you know what, dude, like. I don't live that far to have money. At least can like make a couple PBJ sandwiches, take him some water. Like I figured he'd appreciate that, you know, at least that. So I was like, I did that, and I literally ran back downstairs, ran like right across the street, ran over there, and like took him the food and the water. And I was like, hey man, I just realized you didn't have money here. Like I'd rather just at least give you something. Like it makes me feel better just giving you something, helping you out. And he was like, oh, I can't have those, you know, I'm on a diet. And at first I was like, cool, you know, whatever. And I'd also bought a bag of dog food, you know, like he had a dog, and I also got some extra dog food and stuff. So I was like, well, like, your dog always wants the food, man, like, hang on to it. He's like, oh, I already have food for my dog, he has treats. And I was like, well, I mean, you want to take it just so you have extra, you know. In my mind, he's asking for change, in essence. I'm trying to help him just, like, so you have, like, supply, like, you know, like, he has something just to, like, not to rely on that besides money, you know. I was like, he turned that down as well, and I was like, well, at least would you take the water, dude? I was like, you know, at least have some water. And he was like, oh, it's too heavy for me to carry, I don't want that. And so, like, right there, it just kind of struck me. I was like, damn, dude, this is the one guy that literally asked for money, but then, like, as I'm trying to help him with, like, in my mind, necessities just to help him in life, he doesn't, like, want it. So it's like, some people are, like, they want just money, and, like, you know, that's I don't want to, can't say what type of person you are, but to me, it's, you know, is it more of the alcohol, is it the addiction basis that made them to where they are in their point of life, and that's all they're living.
Yeah, they cut their ties. That's why they don't have family that are there. Maybe that's.
Do you guys all think that maybe it's not even like the homeless, you think it's just because of today's society? I think today's society is always not appreciative of what they have. They always want more. They always don't see what they do have, and they're always just
I could see
ungrateful. I think I could see that.
I could see that. I could see that being part of it. Yeah, I mean.
Can enroll.
Yeah, it's hard to know because like because there could be some that are like super grateful.
Oh,
some
yeah.
people that you're
Some
like,
are
like,
great.
oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Some tear up, like they cry.
I've given water to other homeless people, and they've literally, you know, like really appreciate, thanked me 1,000 times, like, you know, like that God bless you, just literally, you know, saved my life in essence. Like, that's what I'm saying, getting that energy, that's why I do those type of things. But getting something like that, it's like, damn, like, I don't even want to help you now. It's like I tried helping you, you know, like it's interesting getting turned down. Like,
And it's
you're
not
trying
even
to
like
help someone.
when we do these good deeds, it's not even like we're looking for that good thing to come back. But I'm a strong believer in what you put in is what you get out in this universe. And like,
Just type it in.
I mean, it's not why I do it, but it's like why not do good? Because I want good, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
of
maybe
course.
someone else will see it and like
Exactly.
they'll do
You
kindness
by
and they'll
example.
expect
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, but it's weird because like in Indiana, there's not like a lot of homeless people.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
my
no.
first time.
And so like going out there, like even when I go up to Chicago, it's kind of weird. Like it's like whoa,
Well,
like,
that
we're
was
not
a-
used to that here.
That was like my first time in California, and when I saw like all those homeless people, I'm just like, wow, like why and
It's
how?
with us such a
like,
norm. Like,
What's,
it's normal
what's
to you
their
guys
story
now.
to why they're homeless? Like
Everyone probably has their own too.
Exactly.
Crazy experience about that, honestly, like seeing just homeless people ever. Me and Joey actually witnessed a dead homeless person on the side of the street.
Yeah.
So that was crazy alone, and to everybody it was like normal. Like no one was. It was just like a normal thing in essence to them because I feel like they've seen it before. Like they're all just calmly just talking and like. Even like the firemen and police officers seemed like it was something they deal with on like a occasional basis.
Wow.
It wasn't anything like like different. Like it was just a weird feeling to see that as my first time and being like, what the hell? Like this is not normal type deal, you know? Like,
wow, that's weird.
Interesting feeling for sure.
Yeah, it's just super strange. Like,
but that's the kind of inspiration you get. That's for arts and music. It's
yeah.
something
stuff that you don't see
every day.
Yeah.
It's just like wow.
I could say, I mean, if I was homeless, I'd probably go out to California. Just
I've talked to homeless people.
Which
I was like,
I get it.
I'd rather be homeless but be here. Like they're
It's
just
like
happy
they have like
there.
own little country too.
Yeah, I feel like.
Well, there's different types of homeless people too. That's the thing you realize too. There's out there especially. There's the people who will beg.
There's different levels.
There's different levels, literally. There's
That's so weird.
There's the ones that won't say anything, they'll just have the sign. There's the ones who ask, come and ask for your money. There's the ones that actually create or craft things to get their income.
See, I like the ones that hustle. Dude.
Yeah, that's
doing something. I help out.
You go to a place like Venice Beach, for instance. You have a lot of artists in general there, and you have a lot of homeless artists, artists that are just living on the beach, for instance. That's their home, and they're literally just selling paintings, necklaces, whatever they're making as like just their income. And that to me is just the hustle that they're showing that they want more out of themselves.
Dedication, I love it.
It's those are the ones I actually do want to help. That's the ones I intensely do help because to me, it's like I want to help someone who's working towards something, And it's not that I don't want to help someone who's begging, but to me, it's like you can beg your whole life, but you're never really going to grow. I can help you, but are you really going to grow as a human being? You're not going to ever really get anywhere. You're going to get back in the same cycle, just expecting to ask somebody for a handout and then just live off that type thing.
You need to grow on your own.
Yeah. How many people do you think make it out of being homeless?
Probably.
What percentage do you think?
I don't know. It really. I don't. I would say like not a very high.
It's hard to know. I would
say it's
very,
a low
very
percentage.
Low. I've met a guy who has gotten out of it. I met a couple people.
Oh yeah, you have.
When I first moved out there, our tow truck driver.
Tough to get out.
He was a drug addict and a homeless. Like he was homeless for like 5 years. He was telling me, and he like lost contact with his family and everything. Like no one knew where he was. Like just he got deep into drugs.
Hit rock bottom, yeah.
And he said one day that. I don't know if he had ran into someone he knew or something, and they had told him, your family's been looking for you, and eventually, like, they had gotten a hold of him and found him, and he had went through, like, rehab and, like, turned his whole life around type deal, but that was just, like, one of very few people that have the opportunities of even getting out of that, because I think it's really, once you're in there, like, that low, in essence, it's hard to, and it's not even that you can't get out of it, you're classified as a homeless person, so even getting jobs, like, anything, people, like, already frown upon you, it's like, I think they don't even want to, like, necessarily waste their time on you. So I think it's a very low percentage of people who actually get back on their feet from being at that low. Sometimes.
Man, do you think there's anything that can be done to help? And like some of them don't want it. They don't really want it to change. But like, is there something that can be done to help get them at least up a little bit? Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can, like I said, lead by example, and I try to just give them love. I think that's what they lack is just someone that appreciates them, or like I always tell them I'm proud of them. I give them a hug, like, even though I don't know them.
Do you have relationships with certain homeless people?
Yeah, actually,
that are like pretty common in your area. Like, oh, I know you do.
There's a couple like musicians that are homeless, and we work together and help each other out. But I really think that life itself is a prison. So what I mean is like prison. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, but it's literally the prison of your mind. So it's like. It's hard, even like not being that low in life. Like even right now where I'm at in life, it's continuously every day. It's just trying to unlock those different parts of your brain, your soul, your body.
So you get trapped in a cycle, even though like it sounds corny to say, but hearing like I'm proud of you, that like from a stranger, it does more than you know because it gets your mind thinking like damn like why are they like, it just gets you on a different thought process than the normal cycle your brain is like developed on a track type thing. That's like that's the nice part about it.
Wow.
It's also a drive. It's like I don't want to be in that position, so it's like I gotta keep going. It's like that drive. You see,
Man.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild to think about. I feel like that if I went out there, it'd be a huge shock. Like
when I first visited there, like say Venice, there's a lot of like homeless people in Venice Beach, and like they have a community built. And just walking past that, like it kind of hit me and made me realize like I do have a good like these are artists, musicians who are out there who are homeless and still following, and it's like I have more potential and capability than they do, and they're doing more than me in essence. So like it's
just that reminder.
It's that drive for me. It's it's like what is my excuse? This person doesn't have a home, but he's still creating, and that to me is like I'm just being lazy. That's bottom line. Cuts it. Like set all excuses aside. That right there like sets alone. Like I like that. That's why I do. That's why I think I help the homeless that are working because it makes me feel like damn like. There's no excuses for them, so what's my excuse? Like they don't have a home, they don't have anything, and they're working towards something. And me, it's like if I'm not working towards something, what am I doing? I'm just, in my essence, I'm wasting time, just floating. I could be doing more.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it too is distractions nowadays.
Yeah.
Like the electronics and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, I mean like Xbox. Yeah, say like Xbox and stuff like that. Like it's distractions.
The more you have, the more distractions you have.
Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta push.
Yeah, you guys got me hooked on Fortnite, dude. Last time I came here, actually.
Blake's the one.
I know you guys got me hooked on. We played that one time. We went down.
You're like, oh.
We're home.
I never played it until I came and visited, dude. I played it. I got hooked, dude. I was like, yeah, this is crazy. This is cool.
It's a weird epidemic that's happened, dude. That game is huge now.
Actually, this is what's this a podcast called again?
It's books with friends.
Eddie, you're actually reading a book. You can talk about that. He's reading a book about addiction and like.
Awesome.
It reminded me because he had a conversation
he's
about how Mallory and Eddie and I had a conversation how we're addicted to video games and it's kind of taking away our time.
It's
and,
super
like,
weird.
If you want to talk about it, like about that, what you've been reading in the book.
I haven't really read too much of the book.
Could you relate it to Fortnite? Like the...
Yeah.
Because
so,
you played it, you got kind of like
in
low-key
essence,
addicted to it, you know?
It's a repetitive thing, and that's the crazy thing, you know. And like I was something Joey's girlfriend Mallory had asked us. She said, you know, what's so like fun about it? And as I thought about it, I was like, honestly, it's just the the randomness, you know, like that game especially. That is just more of just like random, just not knowing what would happen, you know, because like it's such a big island you're jumping onto, and like that's the cool part. I think that's what it's like. That's the fun part, but I think the addictive part of it is just beating out strategizing somebody, because that game is a very shoot to kill, but it's very strategized. Like, am I gonna do this left or right? How can I think? It's in essence chess. Like, think 3 steps ahead of this person, so then you can eliminate them, because it is a if you die you're out type deal. So it's you're not just reacting out of just craziness. You're kind of thinking through and you're processing your mind, like, should I stay here for like 2 more seconds or should I do this? And that I think that addictive part, just overpowering somebody, is like that feeling of just like, damn, I got his ass, and like getting that little
dopamine rush.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, exactly. And then even that victory royale is what I was telling you. With the addiction part of that, it's if you take away the victory, the number one, and the game was just over, I don't think it'd be very addictive. It's the victory royale that comes across the screen in yellow.
People put it on their Instagram, telling them
that's the addictive part. That's the part that
like,
it's that screen. It's that screenshot. And that's the addictive. It's like I 1 out of 100. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
I overpowered these 99 people. Yeah. I think that's the addictive part, and that's like what we were talking in Tyson last night. Is the addiction is just sound. It's not even just like physical objects or consuming things. It's things that we hear, see, and think, like, without really realizing that's the addictive part of it. And like you said, it's just a small release of dopamine that our body thrives for, and that's continuously we repeat that cycle. And just taking the time to learn about the addiction process is just cool. Like, so I'm realizing like natural addictions in myself that I didn't realize I actually even had. Like, I'm just like taking more time to, like I said, reflect upon like me and my actions and why am I doing this. Like, why do I notice I consistently do this? Why am I doing this consistently? Like, what has it been benefiting? Is it just a pleasure of just feeling good, or is it something that I do because of a result of me doing something else beyond that? Is it like, a ladder effect? If I do this, does it get this? Does it get this? Or is it just nonsense? So like I'm realizing that more, and the addiction just realm of it is an interesting topic. 100% to like look over.
Is there a line between like habits and then addiction, right? Because like there's some gray area, right? So like it could be a habit, but doesn't mean you're addicted to it. There's like there's got to be some place where it's kind of like the same, and then like a habit, and then
I feel like half of it would be like knowing that it's addiction and knowing it's a habit.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times with addictions, we don't accept our addictions. I feel like too. We say it's not an addiction. One of the hugest addictions is the phone. It's like just the phone.
No one wants to admit
everyone looks at their phone.
No one wants to admit that they are.
Social media,
I'm not addicted.
I'm not addicted to my phone. And it's like we are.
I just like to check up on her or something.
It's not even that necessarily we're addicted to being on our phone. People, if you really think about it, like America, not even America, the world, we every like 15 minutes we'll just look at our phone just to see if we got text. Not to necessarily be on it scrolling. It's addictive just to see if someone's interacting with me on my phone.
See if someone's
like it's that addiction right there. It's just like you have to look at your phone, and it's like everyone always says they're not addicted to their phone, but like in essence we are. We literally rely on just for time everything. We're always pulling out our pockets.
It's like an extension of you too.
Yeah, like people.
It really is.
Myself, I lose my phone or I don't have it for the day. I don't feel like me. I'm like, damn, dude, I can't call anyone. I feel useless as far as like any communication. It's just a weird feeling.
It's a big communication thing.
I think we have an interesting perspective because when we were younger, cell phones weren't what they are.
Insane,
They were like the flip phone. Like if you didn't have your phone, so what, dude? It wasn't normal to have a phone. Like
you just hop on AOL, AIM.
Yeah, you get instant messenger. That was basically what texting was, but you had to be like at a computer. But yeah, I remember you could pay for minutes for texting, and you had like the T9. It was just a pain in the ass. Texting itself was a pain.
No one texted.
Yeah, no one did it. It was like that would be weird. And now if you call somebody,
it is weird.
People are like,
What'd you
Why
call
you
me?
call
for?
me?
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to talk to you. I call you, like, I can't
Why
call
you
you.
just text me, dude?
Just snap me or something.
Actually, I like calling more than texting. Just
Way
'cause
quicker.
Yeah, you get the point across. It's like I don't have to spend a 15-minute conversation texting trying to explain
How
back
I'm
and forth
feeling, or
versus just
how I'm feeling,
calling
or something.
2 minutes and that gets over the
Yeah.
conversation. I just explain something.
It's a very limited medium, texting, because it's like just work. You don't understand like tonality. There's no tonality
No,
in it.
you
You
read
don't
it- you read it your
understand
own
sarcasm.
You're how you would
Yeah, it's just
think
like
how
it's
they're
very
saying it.
thin, and I feel like the relationships that you form over texting just aren't as strong because it's up to the other person's interpretation. So if like we're talking, I can say something, you can react, and I can see that you're reacting, and so you can start and as you're in conversation. But if it's just text, that's
Yeah.
Texting
You
is
gotta
like
use
a-
validation.
It's
just
like
like
a-
surface
it's
level.
a futuristic just letter. It's like
Yeah.
it's like writing, but they get it instantly, and they can reply instantly. That's the
Yeah.
weird thing. But like at the same point, when you text somebody, you almost expect an answer back immediately because that's the conversation. But it's it's like a letter. You're sending it. You gotta wait for the response of it getting sent back to you.
That's
Text
true.
It's like the weird.
I guess it's like the
people aren't used to like thinking
letter.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
letter.
literally just
Modern-
it's a
modernized
futurized letter.
letter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. We used to write it and send it with people, the mail truck, just go take it. Now we're able just to type it on our phone and just send it across like the U.S. and just there.
that's so
digitally.
weird, dude.
I feel bad for the kids now. Like they don't even get like love letters anymore. Like in school, they don't get those
Yeah.
cool little notes and stuff like
You always
that.
pass
It's just
notes.
dude. It's
I
like
was
you
gonna
feel
say,
good. Like if
that's
someone's giving you a note, you're like, like who's this
Face-to-face
from? Like
There's no like personalization to
Yeah.
text.
To anything.
It all looks the
Anything in
same.
life, dude.
Like a letter, you can like it's your handwriting too.
I remember I used to collect them. I used to have like
a
a whole box full of notes. Like
Really?
it was weird. Like it was a cool thing to do is to collect your notes. Like,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
the
Pass them
I remember
around or
doing that.
something.
That was actually pretty cool to have. Yeah, that's super strange. Like that whole when we lived through that, we saw the first iPhone come into existence,
Yeah.
and we saw like when MySpace came in, and then like Facebook came in, and like everyone just like migrated.
Even like computers too.
And Instagram was late, right? I didn't even get on Instagram until like my senior year of high school. It was like
Yeah.
2013. Yeah, like, I was like, I didn't even know that was going on, and now it's like one of the biggest.
I think there's gonna be even newer ones here soon too. It's
There
like
probably
people
will
always
be.
say like, oh, it's already too big that nothing else will surpass it. But it's like eventually that's the same thing happened with MySpace. Like Facebook came out and it put MySpace.
Yeah,
like
like
something else is
Twitter,
gonna
Snapchat,
develop to where
Instagram. They just keep
it's more advanced. It's
Yeah.
almost how can you keep track of people in their life, and how can we advance that? Because that's like what Instagram did. It's like, all right, we took Facebook, but how can we make it a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Or
now there's
interesting.
developers
more
like,
interesting. Like what?
how can we
they
take
interact
all
with
these and
each
combine
other.
it and make it one just epic app that has the same effects of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat all in one type deal. So that's like, I feel like that's
next
which
would be
is crazy.
virtuality.
That's how I'm waiting for the
Yeah.
app like Star Wars where you just
that'd
pop
be-
up right
that'd be
here.
already
Yeah.
pretty dope though, because you guys are in California. We could just like hang
Slow
out, like
thing.
have
Oh,
little,
yeah.
have little
Yeah.
animated heads, like
Yeah.
aim or whatever, like sitting there.
Yeah, floating. That would be cool. That would be cool.
Sitting,
It's
like, in the
coming, I
mountains,
guarantee
like, in
it.
a
We call
hologram.
it. We called it.
If you guys see this, we call this in the future.
And if we go missing, the government
We'll
got
just sit
us.
in our room, but then it'd be kind of like be pretty antisocial, really, because like you can just be like playing video. You're sitting in your
Well,
room.
that's one topic.
Okay. We would just be plugged in. You're like, plugged in.
and George talking about the virtuality.
Matrix.
Would you be down and interested in a virtual world, or would that be in essence like not living? But because that in essence would be your reality of like what you're existing and seeing.
That's
and
coming.
being.
It's coming.
But
I
if you
know
think
is.
about it, I
Are
mean,
you-
playing video games in
They're in a
itself,
virtual world.
you're in a virtual world, and people do that a lot. So like,
Yeah.
But take away the game aspect. Say if they were they developed a virtual world, like would you still be living in essence? Would that be?
I think so.
Could
You
it
can
be
do
a
whatever you
reality?
want.
You
Sims
can
too.
still
Think
interact
about
in
the
In the
Sims.
bar house. Yeah.
everyone's just trying to get to the
Why
top.
not?
That's what would happen.
Survive,
You
dude.
put
Survive
everybody in a
survive.
situation, someone, and then the competition to get to the top. It's always gonna happen. There's gonna be a hierarchy.
I feel that. Have you seen the movie?
That's the
What
game.
is it, Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Player
I
one
haven't
ready.
seen it.
Player one ready.
I'll play one ready. That's what it's called.
Really?
That one's they
Steven
built this
Spielberg.
place called the Oasis, and
living
it's just a
reality.
virtual world that, in essence, it's gaming, but it's not gaming. It's just living in like the virtual world. There's gaming within that virtual world. Like you can go to these different game worlds, but
And you could be anybody.
it's just
who you
it's a
wanna be.
virtual world. Literally, just a world that is existing better because the Earth was like very like just like done. It was like at the
Yeah.
point where it was like people.
consuming so much love.
Yeah, we're just taking over, so it's like let's build a world in the virtual aspect versus building a world where we live now type deal. It's like what it turned into. So it was
Yeah,
like an
it's a good
interesting
movie.
aspect to think. And I was like, damn, like that'd be weird. Like, how do you
Yeah,
think
that's
of
a good
how would-
movie.
How would
I'll
that
watch
be? Like,
that.
would I be
We
living
might
or would I be
witness
zombified?
that.
You know,
We
It's
might
like-
witness that. Like,
Oh, it's coming.
yeah,
It's a
Mhm.
VR. It's coming.
man, that's super
I feel
weird.
like they already have it.
And the Army definitely has like high grades.
Oh,
because I feel like the Army gets like the top stuff,
Yeah.
and then later it gets become like consumer electronics.
Well, see, then you talk about the Army. Are they going to get to a point where they can control a robot in essence or a machine through virtual headsets?
I bet we already can.
Not even be in the war. In essence, we're not even. We'll no longer be fighting wars. There'll be a controller or something.
Like drones.
Yeah.
Same thing.
That's the crazy part. So that's like, in essence, like it's kind of scary too. In essence, if that is like a reality, because it's possible.
But if it came down to like robots just fighting robots, no humans are dying. At least it's not like
that's when robots take over.
Like Terminator.
I feel like if they turn on us, we're done.
We're fucked.
We are done.
No, I that's my belief.
They don't need to sleep. They don't need to eat. They might need to charge, but if they're solar powered,
they can program themselves.
Yeah, they can program themselves.
They can update
They learn
themselves.
way faster.
way
than we do.
stronger, way faster.
Yeah, probably update themselves.
Yeah, we
No
would be
feelings,
gone.
no thought process of just
conscious.
just feeling of
No
like
fear. That's the
sorrow
biggest
or
thing.
mourn for something. That's just react out of just reacting. Just
Yeah.
there.
I mean, it's like a tiger hunting you in the woods. Like, they're not going to back down for anything.
Yeah,
You can't
mission.
convince a tiger to not kill you.
Oh, no.
No, you can't. You could, a human, though.
Because they have the empathy towards you. Like,
Yeah.
this guy has like, he feels bad for me in essence, so he's not going to spare my life. And tigers are not going to feel that. They're like,
They don't feel
your
that.
Food,
No, I'm hungry.
Yeah, they're just going to eat you, dude. They don't care.
Yeah.
Man.
They're just moving
That's
up on
crazy.
the food chain.
Well, for, and I kind of want to touch on this because all you guys are doing some type of artistic flow type of thing, And I was looking up a little bit of, what's his name? I just read it. Michael Jean, what's his name?
Oh, Jean-Michel Basquiat? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I told you.
Mix
yeah.
them up. Yeah, I know that's one of your influences.
That's
but
my number
is
one
there
guy.
any other? What are some of the things that you look at?
Like what inspires me?
Yeah. What inspires you then? Major influences.
Yeah, well, definitely. Like I gotta give shout outs to Caleb, Killer Caleb on Instagram. He was one of my biggest at first inspirations. Just seeing how he could express himself, it allowed me to be like, wow, I could express myself. That's kind of like the first time where it kind of like opened my mind as well. But just I'm a self-taught artist. I didn't go to school. Literally just one day I was just like, wow, the way I think and see things, like I'm an artist, I need to start expressing myself. Because to me, my communication is art. I'm not a very well communicator with words, with language. The reason why I say that is because I have no filter. So at times I'll say things I technically don't mean. I have no filter, so I just express how I feel. But me doing art, you take what you want, and I'm not hurting anyone's feelings or myself.
Yeah.
It's like if you take something, that's on you. Like you take whatever you want from my art. So that's what I love about doing art. It's my communications, like that way. But inspiration, literally, it's my inspiration. People ask me, when I'm out there, is like, what inspires you? It's literally everything. Like I said, I'm Pisces. I'm very adaptable. So everything I come face to face with, I try to learn something, or like just get some inspiration from, because there's a reason why that person's talking to you. There's a reason why you're looking at that building. There's a reason for everything that's face to face with you. To me, it's a lesson of you teaching them or them teaching you. So it's like that's my inspiration. I'm consistently just looking for something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always looking for signs, symbols. Like that's me. I'm always on the prowl for something new. But yeah, so I get and then like the big artists I follow, like you said, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Yeah.
YouTube is a big thing. Like I watch YouTube a lot and just seeing how the other artists paint, their styles. But that's my inspiration.
So a lot of my inspiration for my creativity is, corny as it sounds, it's you guys. It's like it's my friends. It's my family. It's in that sense we're not doing the same craft or same art, but just seeing you grow in your podcast, seeing Saul grow in his production, Caleb with his art, like that alone is the inspiration just to keep working towards me, like just being me. That's something I guess like I haven't really done too much, and I have a lot now. Just realizing that like that alone is enough for me. I used to always look for like greater things here and there, but like just being content with what I have and using that as my flow and growth with people who surround me, like that's enough for me. And I have favorites and music and art, people who I like to look at, but it's like I think the most inspiration I get is just from the people who surround me. Like being out in California, I'd say with my art, be Joey with his art. Like that's my inspiration. Seeing him work it, I'm not painting, makes me want to paint, or seeing him change and challenge himself on a different canvas makes me want to go and challenge on a different material that's not even a canvas. If he does something that alone, hobby with his music, if I hear him working and producing a beat, in essence, it's like, damn, I want to either put on a beat to freestyle, or I want to go sit and listen, or I want to sit and just kind of vibe with it. Like that alone just inspires me to do something with myself. And that's like why I've always enjoyed the friend group that we've like had, just because we've all had that, and like that alone is just the cycle of just growth, because we all continuously, I think, just inspire each other. That's just the major inspiration for me, is honestly just the people who surround me 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And Javi, you do kind of a different medium. So how would you relate kind of what they're talking about? You know, when you see them paint, do you get inspired? What's kind of your, and also what's your major influence? Like,
Most
what's your
definitely.
influence?
Well, first of all, influence, I'll have to go with Eddie. Like, seeing you guys, like,
Mm-hmm.
do your things, like your podcast, all with his music and production and stuff like that. That takes a big role on that. As far as, like, seeing them doing, like, art and stuff, it inspires me a lot. Like, they'll be playing their music in, like, jazz or something like that. And then it just, like, hearing that sound, like, gets me going. Like, seeing their art, and creating, like,
feeding off each
makes
other.
me want to go create. Like, a lot of it, my sounds come from is like what I experience and what I hear. Like, sometimes I like to, like, record sounds and then use them in there.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like, for instance, kind of working on an EP where it's just water sounds.
Oh,
and,
wow.
I want to call it, like, Good Flow. So,
Good
like,
flow.
basically it's like just like the flow of, like, water, like how it is, like how it sounds. Like,
Headset,
I just want
ocean,
to take,
like
like,
a
sample. Like for real, I've been honestly, like, taking random. I do too. I have recordings,
That's
like,
awesome.
waves, like we were in the mountains, like creek or something like that.
Mhm.
Just like the splash of water, or if it's raining outside, thunderstorm.
There's a lot of different tones that can come from like a lot of different weights and like little drips, sometimes echoes, sometimes like a little stream.
And to me, water is so peaceful too. Like, when I close my eyes and I hear, like, a waterfall or something, it's just peaceful.
Lots of people listen to rain sometimes that fall asleep, like the recordings.
Oh, I know. It's
peaceful.
nice.
And, like,
it is nice.
And, like, I've been messing with, like, the sound of it, like, different pitches and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And it's just awesome because, like, I love the water flow things.
Yeah,
Like,
the water bottle.
like, I like how water flows
Record
and
the
sounds
sound.
and stuff like that. And so, like, basically a lot of the stuff I, like, hear inspires me, like, to go make music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm, like, out in the street and I hear, like our stop signs say, like, I forget, like,
Wait.
yeah.
Don't say stop.
No, if you push the crosswalk button, it says wait.
Please wait.
Like,
Wait.
and
Oh, yeah,
I'll
you're
hit
saying.
a couple times and hit, like, a little bit, whoa, wait. And it just, like, gets me, like, inspired to, like, go do something like
Sample
that.
it. Whoa.
I mean, I could, but
Crosswalk is on.
yeah, I mean, stuff like that, or, like, say, like, if I throw, like, something in the trash can, I hear, like, a ting.
Yeah,
Like,
it's little
I
tones.
try to remember, like, that sound, 'cause, like, I like it, and then go try to remake it.
That's
onto,
cool.
Like, on there.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of music I listen to inspires me too. Like, I like to, like, jump around in genres and, like, listen to different ones and experience it.
Yeah.
And, like, see how they express and how they went through life.
What's your
or
favorite
what they're going
genre?
through. I don't know. That's a good question. Cause, like, I mean, it depends how I feel. It depends how I'm feeling.
It's
at the
like
moment.
living with you. I feel like
But,
every
like,
day it's a
most-
new genre. Like every day I wake up, you're like I love that. Like I'm like wow, like that's how I am with my art. It's just like
that's, like, another way for me to grow. Like, hearing, like, new sounds and, like, hearing
Mhm.
people what they're going through life and how they want to experience themselves on music. And it just, like, it's
another
very
cool
well-
thing. What's a cool fact that when you make your beats, what you don't do at all, that a lot of producers do days.
Well, a lot of it is making, like how I use my voice sometimes, like, to make
Like
sounds or
nowadays there's a lot of sampling done. Like
Yeah, a lot of samples.
Why are you different? Like
I personally don't sample anything. Like, at least right now, like, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't sample,
Mm-hmm.
but right now I just kind of want to show them, like, what I'm capable.
On your own.
Yeah, like how, like, from scratch what I can make.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm also in the process of, like, making my own sound kits. Like, I'm trying to do that.
let
and get
the
my
other
own-
guys sample off you, right? Like,
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
let them pay me for, like, the different sound, like, they can't get or
Mhm.
can't hear.
Yeah.
And, like, eventually I wanted to start my own website and, like, sell those, like, sound kits and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
I
And,
think
like,
that's what
different
I think
loops.
that's a lot of people lack on it nowadays.
Originality.
Originality. That's
Mhm.
not
Oh,
even
yeah.
just
Them being
not even just
themselves,
art,
who
I
they
think
are.
just people, like how they carry themselves. We all, especially younger kids, you know, we want to follow other people as to
Or
because
what's
they're
trending.
cool. What's trending versus just
Being who you are.
being you and letting that develop
different
that newness, that being the structure of that you, and
Yeah.
that be the new wave in essence, or the new trend or whatever being, and that's what people
Start
I
something
think
new.
don't really take time to
it's
see
all
as like
pop now.
as much as you don't get the interaction and praise for it. Then it's like it eventually you gotta believe in yourself. Just being you eventually will pay off in some shape or form. It may not be through people, but in some shape or form it's gonna benefit you in the
always
long run.
comes
Just
back,
sticking
yeah.
to just your roots of who you are as a person in existence versus trying to bite everyone else and try to be everyone else basically, because you're
Yeah.
not really you. You're just a little bit of him and her, and
Mhm.
that makes you, and that's not really.
Because then you're not on your
It's not
life
really
path.
you.
You're on
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
else's path. You know, you're not on your
Yeah.
life path.
Do you think that kind of like like self-awareness type of level where you know you kind of know exactly what you want on your own, and then other people can come in and influence that. Yeah. Is that something that you think is cultivated, you know, when you're young? Like, I feel like the older you get, if you haven't developed that when you're younger, it takes like a life-changing experience to get to that point. It's like a car accident, like, you know,
I agree.
Something like almost traumatic in a way. Yeah. And then you start to change and you start to think, oh, this is actually what I want to do. All the other shit I was doing before was not that. Yeah. And like, there's always like a break. Like, I feel like if it's developed when you're young, you know, you yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, those are the people like that are like Justin Bieber. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, bro. When he was young, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He was doing it when he was 13. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 13.
No, I don't.
Exactly.
Like, there's so much going on. Like, what?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
what do I want to do?
Also, like, I think it has a lot to do as far as like how your parents raise you. It's like, I think like if your parents invest in like that certain thing, then they're also like, my parents let me kind of like, you know, and that's not a bad thing. I did sports. They let me do what I wanted. But if they're like, oh, he's good at this, let's invest in it.
Like put them like around like that scenery to help.
Yeah.
Them. Let's enable them, you know.
To inspire them to like do like
yeah.
And that's one thing that I even now I focus on, even with like younger kids. Like it's cool because like just talking, you know, being out in California, even since when I meet kids out there, like, you know, they ask me where I'm from and I explain what I do and who I am. And you can see the enjoyment off of them. You see a smile, and it's like, my message to them is like, you know, find what you want now. Like I was like, as corny as it sounds, and you know, I'm not trying to act like your parent, but like, I was like, I don't know if you've ever heard this. I'm gonna tell you because I don't know if you've heard this or not. But find something you literally enjoy and love, and just invest your time for it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just go for it.
And I was like, that's something I didn't hear when I was younger. You know, I didn't hear that like when I was 13. Like so like hearing that and telling that's like something I feel like I missed out on because. Tell it to my sister now, like the younger, I wish I would have started a long time ago doing my, you know, painting with, you know, just my freestyle and everything with music and just in general who I am as a person. Like I wish I would have had that mindset at a younger basis because like I can be here, but I can't. So far, I can't say and I mourn and I regret anything in my past because it's made me who I am today and I've, you know, built the mind and structure I have. But like that's just the one thing to the youth that I always push is just find something and grow it now because it's like the perfect time is that. You know, from 12 to 19, 18, that's the perfect time to just grow. Like you adapt the most.
Shit, can you hit that again? Yeah. There we go.
That's like when you're absorbing the most. That's the most when everything hits you. It's your youth is important with anything. It's just that's that. You know, once you get past a certain age, of just in general in life, you start to lose that. Interest even like especially with music and anything, you know, you have a musician who's young versus a musician who's old, you find more interesting into the younger artist because it's like, damn, he's young, he's doing this at 13 rather than someone doing this at the age of 30. So having that early start, it's like starting. That's why I tell the kids to start now because that's the golden age. That's when people appreciate it more in essence. They like.
I think there's less. I wouldn't say there's less humility when you're young, but like you can test stuff and fail a lot easier than like when you're 30 and you try to pick up a new like I'm gonna be the next big singer. People are gonna be like, dude, you're 30, dude. But when you're young, you can test a lot of things. You know,
try to do things out. For instance, you got musicians that are young that, you know, like. Just if they're a band, if they're a hip hop or rap, whatever, you know, if they're not necessarily big, it's okay to just keep playing and doing things. But when you're 30, and say you have a rapper, for instance, a good example because people always give people crap like, and you're trying to still be a rapper at the age of 30, you get people like, oh, you're wasting your time, you're a fool. You sound stupid because you're 30. It's like, why are you still wasting your time on that? But when you're a kid, it's like it's cool. It's the time to do that type of stuff. But so it's weird. Like that's why. Age is a really huge factor just in everything. It's sad, honestly, because there is talent in these older people, but no one really seems interest. It's like
I think it'd be a culture thing like too old for the U.S. in general. Is like we're more geared toward like just working and like if you're 30 and you haven't made it, you're just dedicated to a life of grinding. Yeah. Whereas maybe in other places it's not like that. You know, maybe they embrace people that are still trying to do new things. But I feel like here it's definitely dependent on how old you are. You're trying to do new stuff, like not like your motivation, but like the perception of what you're doing, other people's perception, and at the end of the day that kind of bleeds into you start questioning yourself as much as you think you have like a brick wall or a barrier. It's gonna get in at some point. Just one little thought just has to come in. Exactly. You know, and then it just like starts to, it's like a little seed and it feeds itself, and you quit because you're like, no one even likes it. Yeah, everyone's hating on it.
I also believe like every year, every day, it's getting harder and harder for people to become successful. I feel like the people that are very, very, very successful, they don't want us to become successful.
They're not,
we
like,
are the customers.
helping. They're not putting their
We're the
hands
ones that
down,
are buying
pulling
their
people
junk
up.
food. We're the ones that are buying.
Because if we
Yeah.
become successful, they become
lose their
less
money.
successful.
It's like
Yeah.
it's getting harder and harder for people to get successful. So it's like you better start now because it's just gonna get even harder tomorrow.
Mhm.
It's like that's
Yeah.
why it's all perspectives. And also, I'm a strong believer. It's like I always say, like, oh, I wish I would have started painting my whole life when I was younger. You know, I would have been big right now. The thing is, I also believe that everything's on the right time when it should happen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just doing it now. I don't know. I don't understand why, but I will later. Like, I think
Mhm.
I'm on the right time. I think
Yeah.
life is.
Yeah, so that's what that was the essence. I don't regret like starting when I started or doing it when I did it. It's just that's just I wish in essence I started early. It's the bottom line, you know.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
I couldn't
I
be
don't
an
regret
artist
it,
because
but
maybe
it's
if I didn't
cool.
experience all that stuff because I
Yeah.
wasn't doing my
Your
thing.
style might not be the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, it might not be
Yeah.
as like life.
I kind of appreciate that. It's all
Yeah.
perspectives
So, yeah.
about it, but
Might not have as much like grip.
Yeah, or
as
drive,
what you
or
have
yeah.
now. Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting though. What was I gonna say? I blanked on for a second. Just casually take a
coffee.
sip. Casually take a sip.
I'm out of coffee.
Sit break water.
Oh, one thing I remember what I wanted to say now. You could do both. This could be related both ways because you know when you're painting, do you typically have music on or do you do it like nothing?
Sometimes it depends.
What do you prefer?
Honestly, jazz. I like
Jazz.
jazz. Jazz is just
Jazz or silence? What do you?
I like music. I like music
Music.
more. I'll
It's on the
paint in
flow,
silence.
too.
Yeah.
But honestly, it
Silence
depends.
Too much in my head.
Whenever I'm hearing
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
Too much. I can't control
Well,
it.
a lot of
Yeah.
the sounds I hear in music it influence me. Is what color
Yeah,
I'm using. If I'm listening to
definitely
jazz and it's a
vibes.
very joyful jazz, I'm using yellows, oranges, like just bright colors. If I'm listening to like more of a doom jazz, I don't know if you ever listened to like that category. It's a little bit
Doom
darker.
jazz.
Darker strums, but still, it's not necessarily dark music. It's just it's deeper bass music and
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
more
jazz,
bass.
but it's a more
Vibe.
low profile and like I'll have more of a chill vibe. So I'll be using more of like blacks and dark blues and purples and stuff like that. So I think a lot, and that's an influence right there is the music. So it's like that's why I listen to music. It gives me a different vibe each time. I won't play the same song. Like I'll play an album by this group. I'll switch to a whole other vibe just to see how it changes. And I'll do that on one painting sometimes. I'll start with the jazz as I'm working on this painting. I'll switch it up, and I really see the flow of like the colors and the feelings together.
Yeah.
That was something I was trying to explain to you last night. Is like people will tell me like you feel a lot in my art. I think that I do because really what I'm hearing is what I'm seeing at that current time when I'm developing. If I'm having happy thoughts, happy flowing energy from what I'm seeing, hearing, it's what's added on the canvas at the time. If I go back to it later the next day. I'm listening to a more chill vibe. What I'm adding is gonna have a more chill vibe to it. So it mixing with the colorful, like crazy happiness, it has a cool little effect, and that's why I like the little sessions I do have. I don't paint a painting at once. Sometimes I'll spend 2 weeks, an hour at a time, but it's because I like just to add that vibe at that certain time, and that's like it's cool to see that in my art in general, just to see the different thought process and the different vibes I've had within like pieces of itself, which is cool.
Yeah. Would you say you you do your pieces? Eddie said kind of stretches his out. Is yours kind of distinct? Like I'm gonna work on this piece. You do it for 2 days
so, like,
straight, and
when
then
I
you're done, or do you kind of let
Well,
it
like when I
ride?
first started doing my art and painting, like I said, I'm a self-taught artist, so I was kind of like playing around and just kind of like finding my medium, finding my style.
Mhm.
And I used to plan it out, and I would get very, very frustrated when something didn't come out that I wanted to come out. It was in my head. So then I tried a technique, I guess you consider it freestyling. Art isn't the outlet to my life, so instead of being destructive to myself or others when I'm upset or I feel a certain way or a different emotion I can't understand, usually that's when I do my art. It's because, like I said, it's my communication to myself and others, so it's like, now I don't plan my art. I literally walk up to the canvas and I just start scribbling. My art, like I can draw pretty well if I wanted to, but I don't have the patience. It's more the energy. Like when I walk up that canvas, I just want to start scribbling. I just want to go into it. So now I don't plan it. I just straight go into it. And I literally, like I said, I'll start flowing to the music, and I just get so lost, and I don't even know when to stop. I just stop. I just come to that point where it's like, I need to stop. It feels great, and I step back. I literally don't step back when I paint. I step back. It's like, what did I just paint? What is this? Like, what is that?
It's just you get a smile too, 'cause you're like, damn.
It's like
that
came
was
out of
cool.
me. Like, what is this? And that's how I get that raw art that it's like, how did you get that line? How did you even like think of that? Like what? It's just because I don't. It just comes out. It's
allow life to flow through
just,
you.
That's awesome. You never run out of ideas.
Exactly, and every painting is different. And like my style, it's flipped back and forth. It's never continued the same style. It's just like like he said, how I feel that day, what I'm experiencing at that moment in life, and that's why it's different. And I think that's why people can feel myself, because when I walk by, it's like, whoa. Sometimes I got like, wow, your stuff's dark, or wow, your stuff is beautiful, or like that's why I love showing art as a feedback. That's how I grow.
That's the hard part, explaining. I think with his music, he said, because he's expanding with different genres of music. He's never really one basis, and I think that's one part that for us, people ask me like, what style art do you do? Like, what do you paint? I'm like, dude, I don't know. Cause I do a lot of just whatever. Like, I don't structure myself. I'm not like, I'm just an abstract painter. I'm just this. Like,
I'm expressive.
Depends what I feel that day, what I'm feeling, and that's what I paint. So when someone asks me, I'm like, I do a lot of everything. I don't really know what to call it. I just create.
Yeah, that's probably a good way.
That's what I would label mine as. But like a lot of people, like for example, like I had this kid purchase one of my paintings, and he's like, what is it? Like, tell me about it. I'm like, honestly, this one's untitled. I just got it done. I haven't even got a chance to learn from it. Like, I have no idea what this means. Like, I literally, that's what I mean. Like, that's how much I freestyle. It's like, usually it takes a couple weeks for me to understand, like, oh, wow. Like, I come back to paint, like, that's what it means. Like, oh, my God. Like, I didn't even know this whole time. So it's like, sometimes I don't know what it is. Like, I can't explain it. Like, it's just, that's all, like, I don't think about it. I don't know.
So you do usually like kind of one session then?
Yeah. Usually, sometimes it might take a few hours. Sometimes it might take 5 minutes. Like, it literally just, that's how it just flows through me. It's just how that day, it just boom, So.
Wow. Yeah, because I think it's that state that you're in, it's called like, technically it's called like flow state.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
But it's basically the state where like, you lose track of time.
It's reality, myself.
Yeah,
because I'm not painting something else.
Because everything in all the bullshit is kind of just
gone.
Yeah, and then so it's kind of like similar to meditation.
You're existing at that moment. You're not existing with everything else. You're existing in that creation. You're just flowing with that. That is your reality in essence at the time being.
Yeah, I've always wondered if that's how animals live all the time.
They might. Honestly.
You know what I'm saying?
Something to wonder.
Good thought.
That is a good
question. Right? So, I mean, I don't know if animals really worry, but like, I guess dogs kind of whine sometimes.
Yeah. And the other thing about the whole art thing,
like they don't even know when time is passing. They don't even know what it is.
They don't know what day is. They just wake up and there's sun and there's
they just have their survival instinct.
Because they don't have a sense of like what's next. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they can't predict things. Animals can't.
They don't
even know that they're gonna die, right? Like it's consciousness.
Yeah,
like,
they don't. That's why time is not even. It's like there's no start and finish. They're just.
And I've kind of been training myself like not to understand, not to be on time.
Time is a weird structure. I honestly like the flow of like not like.
Not go against it, but
I have to obviously for work. Like, I mean, that's the one. That's honestly if it wasn't for work, time for me would not be like an existing thing because like. People always ask like, why do you stay up so late? Why do you wake up early? I'm just like, cause that's what I want. Like I stay up late because I don't want to just call it an early night. I stay up because I'm feeling the thoughts, I'm feeling creativity, whatever it may be. But I still wake up at a time where it's not super late because I want to experience things. But it's that I don't like. The only reason I wake up at the time I do or go to sleep when I do is because I know I have to work that day. If I didn't have work, I literally would just be. I sleep here, sleep then, like it would just be free flow, just natural. I think that's like the weird. Like we're all not. I wouldn't say everyone, but time in essence enslaves us as a structure of like what we live upon. Right? And we are living, but we're living through time. We're not really living through it. Like you said, animal just living. We're not just experiencing life. We're experiencing it. I have 2 days to do this. Like for instance, we're here. We only have. Deadlines. A day, we have to leave in like an hour to go back up north. Since it sucks knowing that you only have a confinement of this structure and like not having that, it just allows you to have more of a natural, raw experience of just life in general.
Yeah, I like Buddha. I mean, he meditated for like days straight. Well, it was like 50 something days.
For that long.
He's like, I'm gonna sit at this tree until I've kind of unlocked it.
He becomes that tree,
right? He
wild.
sits down by this river, and they said he was there for like this is a long time ago, so I don't know how long it actually was.
Though, man.
But like I can met days just like in that flow state that you guys get into when you're painting or when you're doing your art, or when you're producing, that state is just really interesting because I think that's something everyone kind of tries to unlock. It's like because we just get so caught up in the weeds.
Mindset,
I would say in the
weeds.
That
mindset prison.
Yeah, and when you're doing something like that, you finally just like look up and you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Literally.
Yeah.
Why am I
Take a little
stressing
step
about
back.
getting to work
Exactly.
on time or whatever? Yeah, it's just a time where you can, it's just like free, just like, whew.
I feel like.
And I bet when you're done, like when I meditate, when I'm done, it's just like
your body feels different. Not even you, like your mind.
Like,
Just everything.
your soul, everything, like
It's
everything
gone,
feels
and you're just
like
like,
released. You feel new.
Yes.
You feel
Any
reborn.
of you are watching meditation, I highly recommend it.
It is nice.
I highly
man.
recommend it.
Yeah.
That's
it
one
is.
thing that I don't think it would do you wrong in any aspect.
No.
Oh, no.
I think a lot of people try to tie it to like a religious thing. It's
Yeah.
not. At
Well, some people
all.
are like, they're like, oh,
Not
that's
at
that's
all.
like that's like witchcraft. Some people see it that some way. Sometimes it's like, no, dude, it's just I'm existing at the
bro.
current moment.
Yeah.
And just
Being aware.
not thinking. That's the meditation. You're literally just. You said
Present.
flowing. You're just
Yeah.
letting life be life, and you're existing with that life flow, and that's what the beauty of meditation is. You're just existing
Then
at
flow
that.
through. It's
If
like
you're by a
trying to
tree
control
by the
your
water,
mind.
you're being in that
You're
current.
just there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
You're fully
It's
there
cool.
for everything.
It's a good feeling, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man. I went into a float tank actually.
You told me about that. I want to
Oh,
try
what was
that.
that?
90 minutes.
What'd you do?
Float tank, isolation chamber.
Is it the
So it's like a
sensory
it's like a pod.
deprivation type
Yeah.
deal?
So it's like a
The
pod.
water pod?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I see
And you flip it up, and the water's like the same temperature as your body, and they put in like a ton of salt, so you just rise, like you get in it, you're just like whoop, up to the top, like it's floating in it, and so you can play music in there if you want, and there's lights, but I turn them off, I turn everything off.
Yeah, you want
And
to.
you're just
you want it to
floating
play.
in there, and so like it's a really interesting feeling because your body just becomes very like so relaxed, like so more than like if you're sleeping, because like you're just like in water, you know.
You know,
Well,
you know,
water conforms to your body.
Gravity, so you're even on your mattress. Gravity puts that pressure on
Exactly.
you laying down, but that water, you're
feel more
literally-
weightless.
You're floating. You're just
Yeah.
literally being near the
crazy.
water.
Feels like you're just
existing as the
floating in
water.
space or something.
Yeah, so then all you're left with is like basically your mind,
Mhm.
you know, and taking everything else out.
I need to try that.
Everything else is gone except for your mind. And like Blake and Emily did it with me,
Yeah.
my brother and sister, and they fell asleep.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
feel like that would be me.
Because if I went in with a certain mentality, like I went in with the mindset, like I want to think about this really deeply. And so like what I did for that 90 minutes is I went in and replayed everything I possibly could from like my freshman year to my senior year of college. Everything, like in as much detail as I possibly could, and tried to learn from it and just play everything back. That's what I did. That's why I spent my time doing.
Were you more able to visually see that in your
Yeah, I
mind more
think
because
so.
you were so relaxed and actually
Yeah.
like almost visualize it because of like
No
it
distractions.
almost it would be like
Yeah.
a dream. It'd be a dream essence like that same feeling because I
Similar
think
like
you're,
that.
you're just visualizing more. That's
Yeah.
meditation essence. You know, I think it's cool when you focus on that thought. You can actually be there more. It's
Mhm.
like you're almost re-existing in that current moment. But
Yeah,
you're
you
not,
can
you're
relive
not-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it went by like I went in, I was like, dude, 90 minutes is a long time. It's actually kind of scary because it's pitch black. You're in this, it's your own, everything's in its own room, you know. So you have your own room. And it was kind of nice when I went to. It was like a little spa. Like they had like a little shower. They give you like the little towels and everything. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just like if you just did it once, just to have that experience, it's kind of interesting. But like to me, I went in and I'm like, man, the longest I ever meditated was like probably like 40 minutes, like tops. And then going in like 90 minutes, that's a long.
So that's about
an
normal
hour and a
meditation's
half.
about 30. That's like the most I'll do.
Hour and a
30,
half.
40.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it is hard to concentrate. Meditation, like
Yeah.
you have to train yourself. Literally,
You really
like,
do.
it's- The first time, few
Breathing,
times you do it,
everything.
it's like
Yeah,
you do
it's
it
like
for
it's
2-3
impossible.
minutes.
You feel like you're not doing it right. You're
My
like,
mind
nah,
is just-
I screwed up. I didn't do this right. But it's like you gotta,
No,
you
that's
gotta
part
learn
of
you.
it.
You gotta learn
Yeah.
you. You gotta
Just
figure
keep
yourself
doing
out.
it,
to do
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
That's the cool part. I think that's where a lot of people, even myself at first, would do, like meditation. I think I was like at that point where I was like, I don't know how to meditate, so I wouldn't do it because I was like, I can't relax.
Frustrated.
And I talk to people where they're like, I can't meditate. I wish I could. It's like,
To
you
let
can.
it go.
And they're like, well, I think too much. I'm like, that's the point of meditation. You learn
Yeah.
about yourself, how to let go in essence.
How do you
just
cut it off?
just to let everything not be what it is and just
Yeah.
be
Be
the
disconnected,
be
like-
just being in existence at that current moment. And it's like that's
It's
a,
so
that's a
hard
lesson.
for us too.
It
So
is.
hard.
It is.
Because we're so
So
surrounded by
hard.
distractions.
Yeah, man, it is. Yeah.
Well, and that's why the meditation they always recommend quiet because a single sound for us, it's like, what did I hear?
was that?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it makes you think. Even if it's just like a bird chirping, that bird chirping makes you think about what kind of bird was it. Where is that
Yeah.
bird?
Just triggers
This
your
and you
brain.
start to like it gets you on a whole
Hyperactive.
different like thought process. That's weird. Like the simplest sounds will
It
make your
gives, like, your
mind
brain
do some of
something
like
to
the
do
craziest
something.
expansions.
I also think a lot of the meditation music or videos you watch on YouTube, what's it called, the hertz and stuff, the sounds
The
have a
frequency?
lot.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
a lot to do
Yeah,
with
the,
relaxing your body.
It's like binaural
Yeah,
beats. Binaural beats.
Yeah.
I recommend that as well. I sleep to that, man. Like it kind of just like the whole meditation. As you go to sleep, it kind of just soothes everything down.
It makes
so you can
sense because the audio would just help relax.
Do you
your
do
brain.
guided
Yeah.
meditations or do you just do like
It
straight up
depends.
just silence like?
If I'm like trying to get I think guided are really good for you trying to like progress and get
Yeah,
better
yeah,
at
yeah.
controlling yourself, and then
I like
by yourself is kind of your own test. So like there's no
Sure.
one
Walk
there.
from it.
The training wheels are
I
off.
feel you. I have 100%.
So
I
I do both.
I like the
both.
guided as well, just because that she's saying the frequency, the vibrations, and the person guiding the meditation. It has a lot to do with it. Because I listen to different one. There's some guided meditations where like their voice just throws my meditation off. It's not a relaxing sound.
Yeah,
When
you
you
have to
get
have a
that-
certain voice, don't
When you get that like
It's a
sweet,
very-
calm lady's voice, or just a male's voice, and that's even there's plenty of guided male voices where it's a very just relaxing. Like one of the most beautiful meditations I had was at that Cho experience. To start the experience off, you go to the rooftop, and it
that's
was your group.
beautiful.
You meditated, and like there was an older gentleman, and he was just talking in a very low, raspy voice, but it was a very calming sound. Like his voice was a very relaxed, and like just the meditation alone, like made me like it feels so much. Like literally, there's people crying, and I almost felt the urge of crying. It was just like how beautiful it was. It wasn't that I was sad. It was like that was like it was interesting, and the experience.
Like you
that
could
was
hear all the
beautiful,
stories
you know, like-
inside of his voice, like just the,
Yeah, it
the
was
sound.
really,
Like
really
he was very
beautiful.
old
How he
and
was
wise.
explaining
You could
everything.
just
It was like, dang,
feel
it was
how, the
beautiful. I
journey
never
in his
saw life
sound
in
of
that
his
aspect,
voice.
and it was cool to get that.
awesome.
Wow.
It's really awesome.
So like that's why, in essence, I like guided sometimes, just because hearing someone's voice, it makes me just like put my like whole like vibration of me into a different like feeling too. So which is kind of like interesting too as well.
Yeah. I think being able to like set that time aside, and just for anybody that hasn't meditated, like you're finally able to like separate yourself from your thoughts, and then you can see them happening. And then the more you do that, at first you're like, whatever, that's cool, whatever. But then the more you do it, if you consistently do it, it's like a tool. So like if I'm having a bad thought during the day, I literally visualize myself taking a pair of scissors and just snipping it and just letting it go. That's what I do. Like I just like snip it, or like I just like throw it in like a stream, and visually like in my brain, I just like throw it, and it's just
I do something like
it's
that
gone.
as well.
Things aren't that
Ah,
aren't
that's
that big of a
strong.
deal.
Or anything like
Yeah,
that.
like that taught me a lot with myself. It's like just with my stress, with my anything, like any like angry
Yeah.
moments I get, it's like it is what it is. Me reacting the way I react, it's not gonna change anything. Like it's not gonna fix my problems. So just let it go. And like I
Learn
think
from it if
meditation
you
alone
can.
has taught me
Get
that
some
like way of
positives out of
thinking.
it.
yeah.
I didn't have that really the
Yeah.
aspect until I started meditating. And so I was like, it's not really a big deal.
So
Like
like,
it's really not. It's really
like
cool.
when you
Like I'm calm and cool.
Like what you said about the whole snipping away. One of the meditations I do is the shower meditation. I don't know if you heard of shower
I've heard of that. I've
meditation.
never done
That
that.
You
one's
literally
really cool.
visualize whatever the bad negative feelings you felt or what you went through
Yeah,
that day. Visualize it coming off of you and going down the drain.
Mm.
Like literally, that's one because I do a lot of my thinking in the shower. Like that's probably my most.
Shower thoughts are some of the deepest thoughts, honestly.
Water.
Like, yeah, no clothes on. Like it's just
Yeah,
you.
you're
Relax.
Yeah.
It's a relaxing. The steam. It just gets
The
you.
water. It's a whole
It's a
water
very
thing too.
personal
yeah.
thing too. Like
Yeah.
the water.
yeah, it's just you.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So like that's one of the biggest meditations I do. I love that one daily in the morning just to get me ready.
Yeah,
for the
nice.
day.
I'll start.
That one's a good one
It's
too.
like-
I saw that not too long ago and just.
And, like you'll get the chills. It's weird. Like it's just leaving your
Because
body.
even when you dry yourself off, like your skin, you just
You
feel
feel
like,
new.
dang, dude, like I feel
I
dry.
just
Like,
shedded that
I just,
coat.
yeah, like they said, I shedded that layer. Like I'm cool now. Today's a new day. Like
Good
I'm clean.
mindset
I have
to
a
live
whole
by,
like
yeah.
your energy's
Yeah.
full.
If you do them you take a shower in the morning, yeah, I
Usually
feel like
before work.
you start.
It's a fresh start.
It's a nice
yeah.
start to the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're not
why
carrying that
You're-
weight,
you're
and you start to
ready
realize
to
that
take a
weight
shower.
that you carry all the time.
Yeah.
If
It
you've
feels
never
good.
done it, like I feel like if you can do something like that, you're just like, whoa, like I can get rid of all this shit
Exactly.
now. Like
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Like this days,
Yeah.
like be more.
Yeah, just starting
like,
fresh. That's huge. I do my meditation in the morning too,
Yeah,
for that
same.
reason.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
If you can do it at night too.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like I think in the morning, it's like I like to have like that nice start, like that.
Define
Start to the day
It's
can
like
define your
same
day.
thing as your cup
you
of
know?
coffee in essence.
Yeah.
That is your it's your cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like
Like
it's your mind working. It gets it to where it's not working in essence, but where the day starts your brain on just thinking in that way. So then your day is just really structured.
And on a positive
Mhm.
vibration
like, how
as
can
well.
I see this? Like how can I see everything? That's what's
Yeah.
cool about starting in the morning for sure.
Yeah.
Like I personally
Can you-
do it in the
can you
morning.
hit the-
I personally do it in the morning and longer, and then when I go to bed, I do it a short time just
Yeah.
to like clear everything out before I go to bed.
Yeah, that's smart too.
So
yeah.
like I get my day going with the clear mind, and then I go to bed with the clear mind.
Mm-hmm. It probably helps you
It helps
sleep,
out.
dude.
It helps out
I
a
know.
lot. It does too. Sometimes like I
Yeah.
sleep in because of that. And
Sometimes
like,
you can't
wow.
sleep because your brain just keeps going on a cycle, and like you're just like,
I've had those.
And you still like just.
I get mad because I'm just like I can't stop thinking. I'm like, dude, stop thinking. Just go to sleep. Like, damn it. 2 hours later, it's still up. Like, why am I still awake thinking? Like, damn it, just go to sleep. Those nights suck.
Yeah, that's always. But yeah, meditating right before you go to bed helps clear all that shit out.
Relax.
Yeah, and then you're just like, ah.
Yeah, that's why I do it longer during the morning and like a little shorter during night.
But yeah, I think it's huge. I think it's super underrated, that tool. I think
that's what sucks
popular.
about it is I think it's got structured in like we were talking about the witchcraft or
The
spirituality, or you guys are doing black white magic, or you guys are
spirituality
hippies,
is
or
different. Yeah,
it's scary to people.
I don't think it's
I think it's just people are afraid of stepping
It's
out of
just
their
self growth.
Yeah.
Spiritual is just knowing who you are and
what
what
you are.
we are. Like
Yeah.
just understanding it. Like
Yeah.
that's it's not a
I think
religion. It's
that's
just
the
you.
fear,
It's
too,
not.
that people are afraid to really
For growth,
find
I think
out.
they're scared. It's a comfort thing. They
Yeah.
settle nowadays. They settle and they're comfortable. So they're like, all right, I got what I'm good right now. But it's like, why? Even if you're good,
Yeah.
just if you were to go one more step, that could have been it. You know, that could have
Yeah.
been your dream. You know, it's
Mhm.
like why ever stop? Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop. Even when you have it all. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what something like when people talk about retirement plans and stuff too. It's like I don't have a retirement.
I'm not
plan.
putting that structure on my
To
life.
me, it's like my retirement plan is when I'm no longer able to progress
Yeah.
with physicality, mentally, and I notice I'm at more of a downgrade. It's my time to take a seat back. That's my retirement. You know, like I think a lot now, like we structure humans that like we set a certain retirement plan.
It's like an age that you're
I
supposed
know,
to be retired.
60, I'm
We set
retiring.
up
And it's
early,
like
too.
that's my goal is I want to work so I can. It's like why are you working so you can retire? So why don't you just
try
live? Why don't you just live and then retire when you're no longer able to grow in a sense as like as a person? I mean, you can always grow even when you're 90, whatever. You can
Yeah.
continuously grow mentally, but there's a point where your body physically starts to
Yeah,
downgrade
you
in
can't,
essence.
you can't
know?
keep
Like,
up with.
that's I think is when you should retire. Like I think people set a limit to themselves, so that already is limiting them into living already
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah, I think retirement sounds kind of boring, like the typical retirement.
Does.
Like,
You're just
it's
going
like,
downhill.
What are you gonna do? Like, I get my purpose through my work, and when that's
Yeah.
gone, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with
I
it.
want that just that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And some people can do it right, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Some people do it
exactly.
right. Some dudes,
It's the whole life
a lot of
path.
get hobbies that
Yeah.
they never had the chance to do.
It's
You
true.
know, 'cause they've been working.
Or
all their
even like
life.
some retire and they're the grandparents to their kids too. So like there's
Yeah.
benefits out of it. And, you know,
It's
Yeah.
like the reason why I even moved to California. It's a whole life path thing. Like nowadays, I feel like life paths are structured, and it's like you have to choose the 3 or 4 that they already have. It's like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like after high school, you're going to military, workforce, college, or it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, and there's not, like I said, there's nothing wrong with those. I don't disagree with any of those. But a lot of people like myself and there's other people out there, it's not for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just to live and
They
to
don't like any of
learn.
the options.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel right. Like,
Yeah.
so like it's like we went to California to show myself and others and continue. It's like we're trying to create that new life path. It's like if you want to be yourself and do exactly what you want in life, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of parents have a hard time understanding that, but like it's because it's kind of like they didn't do it or they kind of got stuck in that
Mhm.
prison, that whole mental thing. It's like it's okay just to live life. It's okay just to be you. It's okay just to have the simple things
It's okay to
and just be
struggle.
happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's okay
to have that, like,
That's the way
to not have all what you
The lack.
want. Like
Yeah.
It's okay. Like that's a good feeling. Honestly, I think people are.
it's
afraid
the whole
of
money
that
thing
too.
too. It's like I'm okay if I just have enough to pay my bills and be happy. Like
Mhm.
I don't need all this.
I
I
can do this
want
stuff
it.
that I
You know,
love.
I would
Mhm.
wish I could have it, but it's like
Yeah. You don't need it. You don't
It's not a
need it.
necessity.
because then you have
Yeah.
it and you're just it's chilling it.
And you'll get used to it anyways.
Yeah.
You get used to it, like when you get a car or something, you're like,
Yeah.
it's sweet for a while, but then you're like, oh, that's my car.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't wanna- I don't wanna
appreciate it
drive
more. You
right
don't
now, like-
appreciate it.
Well,
You
that's not
know.
like
Yeah.
something with like my parents, for instance. Like they, my mom especially is like like work for what you want. Like I
Mhm.
think if you're born into just being given, it's not like wrong because some people they work their life to give their children what they didn't have in essence.
Mhm.
But I think that also takes
Structures
away
their
from
mindset.
mentally. Like
Mhm.
you're taking away the aspect that they can improve, they can grow and work for something. It's just I think it's just expectations of living. I think
Mhm.
it's a lot of the problems we have as a world. I think it's just no one really wants to do the work or the struggle, the bottom, the lows, just to
Mhm.
do something different. We all want the
So you gotta have your
easy,
lows
the
and your
flows
highs.
of
Part of
it,
life.
they're
You gotta
there
have
already,
those lows.
like,
Yeah.
that's like he was saying, set the new path. My instance, just like the path of mine, just to live, like just whatever it may be. If it's your whole life, you want to go on adventures, do that. That's literally okay. That's not wrong. I think a lot of times people, if it's not a job or a career, you shouldn't be doing. That's what people see it as, and they get talked
Yeah.
out of it. If that's literally what you want to do with your life is literally just backpack around the world, do that because like. you never know how much benefit that, not only for yourself but for people.
Yeah.
Like someone seeing you doing backpack as that's your life, like that might make them want to do whatever the heck they might want to do at a more faster rate because they see you doing it and you're happy with it, you know. So that's like with myself, I can't speak for my brothers, but like that's why I like doing what I do. It's, you know, it's like I don't do it for anyone but myself. But it's cool when it gets someone. They tell me like, "Oh, you inspired me." Like that inspires me. I tell them that like, your words mean more than you know, because like I'm not doing this for you. Like it sounds shitty to say, but it's like I'm doing it for me. But like if I'm able to impact you and to want to make you do the things you love, then it's like, dude, that's my success right there.
That's
like,
the goal.
Money aside, that's the best success I can have. Is when someone tells me when someone says that to you, anyone, like, you know, it's like I want to be me because of you, or it's like dang, dude, like I am doing something right, and that's like I think the message I like to pass is just be you, literally, and that will do more than you will ever realize in your life. Is just being you will help people more than you could try to help people type deal.
Yeah, trying to force it. Well, hey man, we gotta wrap up. We have a hard stop here, but that was good, dude. That was great. We'll cut it off. Let me get the reins. Any last words? Anything that anybody wants to put out? Eddie kind of just had his little.
I just honestly, just to cap off what I was saying, just shoot message is just to say, just be you. Like that's the one thing I tell like my sister, everyone is just no matter that weird feeling, just always I stick to myself. Just stick to just what you feel like is right. You know, even if some people talk it down, we hear this as a kid. You know, always like, don't do this, don't do that. But like, just be you, man. Like I think it's just what sucks. Like people pick on each other and take away that you. Everyone, I think we're always set to pick apart people versus building that person, because like being that, well, like it makes everyone as a whole. It sounds corny and like weak. You know, hearing this, people are always like, that's, you don't want to hear that, but it's true. It's like, you know, like when people really take the time to help someone build themselves, that's really growing the world in essence. And I don't think we have enough of that today. So that's my thing is to close out. Is just stick to that and just help grow you, and that grows the world.
Awesome.
I totally agree. Like, stick to your roots. Like, be you. Express yourself through that. Like, I feel like, but even if like you fail, like, learn from those failures and keep going and be successful. And then, like Eddie Howe said, others will see it and it will inspire them. Like, just keep being yourself.
See a guy get pushed down 20 times and still standing up, you're gonna be like, damn.
I mean, like,
still going.
don't get me wrong. Like, if you make a mistake, like, try to learn from it and don't let it happen again. I mean.
Yeah, but you see it and you're like, man, that's persistence. That might inspire somebody. You know,
exactly.
Just getting
like,
knocked down.
And that's like the goal, to inspire people to like keep being themselves, and like if they want to create or if they want to do that for life, like don't be scared. Cause I feel like fear holds a lot of people back sometimes too as well.
Mine would have to be honestly, like nothing's wrong, nothing's right. So just like they were saying, just honestly, just experiment. Like, why not? You know, it's the why not? Try it. It's like not saying go out there and do all the bad things, but it's like sometimes it's like, why not? It's like, let me see what this does. What, you know? But honestly, just like I said, be yourself. Don't be scared and lead by example. Nowadays, there's too many people with words. Just lead by example, and it's contagious. I promise you. Like, just be yourself and do good. And like I said, good will come back. Just show people. Like, there's too many people just talking about it. Just lead by example. Literally, just be that walking example.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Well,
this is interesting.
Stop it.